Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us in the Freedom Zone, whether it's on YouTube, just click the join button under any title of the video, or go down in the description box and join us on Patreon. Same perks, same price, but I tell you what, it's the place to be for the real conversation that's going on for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month, ladies and gentlemen. 0 Google daily ads on all my videos, and by the way, extra content. I'm telling you, it's a great conversation in there, and I'm loving where it's going. Please join us in there. Great way to support the channel as well. Right now, $2.75 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 2.9% in the last 24. We see Bitcoin 84,000 plus, 84,000 plus. 1,500 plus for Ethereum right now. XRP $2.04. We're off 2% on the 24. We're off 7.9 on the 7-day. Coming at the range of price, we're looking at this at 204 to 210. We're on the bottom side of that range at the moment. I do want to remind everybody, this is the time before we moon, before we hit that massive crypto cycle that's coming when legislation hits, as they say. Digital Asset Investor and myself have come together with Caleb and Brown. Why? Well, we've watched them for years, for one. We have a lot of dear friends that trust them for years, too. But we've come to learn through our due diligence that you get institutional grade custody, no charge. And let me tell you, flat fee, no hidden fees. And by the way, you get a human representative. That's right. You get to speak to a human being. So every one of you been in this space long enough understand crypto exchanges freeze up when the bull cycle or bull run happens and you can't get your money out or you're scared you've been hacked. Well, no more, because now you can call or make an appointment and speak to a human being about your account. You can even put special instructions on your account. Let's say, for an example, you could say, by the way, while I'm speaking to my rep, I want to make a note on my account. I want to make sure that I do a Zoom call with my face and that I'm not under duress and that I'm alive before any withdrawal can happen. Can you make that a note on my account? The answer is yes, they can. And guess what? And that prevents a hack right there. That's just another layer of protection, not to mention the fact that you get this white glove customer service representative that you can talk to, whether it's about difficulty of setting your account up or whether you want to find out information about what's available to you. I tell you, this is a remarkable opportunity. Just go to xrpwealth589.com or click the link underneath the video to get started. Oh, it's XRP Las Vegas giving away $25,000 in prizes. Did you get your tickets yet? Did you see Bree Teresi has signed on? She's coming, ladies and gentlemen, along with so many others. Miguel Villas, Keith Grossman, president of MoonPay, Simon McLaughlin, CEO of Uphold, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Heard of him? Yeah. How about David Schwartz? Heard of him? Christian Carlo, heard of that guy? Listen, it's just some of the people that are going to be there. Get your ticket and make the investment in yourself. You won't be sorry. By the way, normally you would be very, very nauseous if I played this clip for you, but I want you to listen to it. It's Gary Gensler, the former SEC chair. We're glad he's gone, but I want you to hear what he says.
As you probably watched, so many CEOs were doing almost victory laps in the crypto world as these enforcement cases were dropped by this current administration, of course, cases that you had brought. As you watched that, what did you think?
Look, I'm going to step back a little bit from any individual cases and just say this again to your viewing public. This is a very small part of the financial markets, but if you were interested in this, think about every financial asset sort of trades on a bit of fundamentals and sentiment. But this field is almost 99, or maybe one might say 100% sentiment and very little on fundamentals. And while Something like Bitcoin may persist for a long time because there's 7 billion people around the globe, a real keen interest in it. There's 10 or 15,000 others of these tokens. And to think through your own risk, your own personal risk, about where are the fundamentals. And if this is just about sentiment, then generally those don't end up well. And
he's right about that. You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but Gary Gensler is right. Fundamentals are very important. Fundamentals are what I base my channel on. Just like the fundamentals of FTX and the multiple times Gensler met with them without examining the fundamentals and giving them a free pass broker-dealer license because Gensler is either incompetent or willingly overlooking the dumpster fire that was FTX. You know, the second largest donor of the Democrat Party at the time. Spell correct on my phone is a nightmare. It's unbelievable. Nonetheless, that's what we're looking at. This guy, I can't, but he's gone. And now that he's gone, look at the optimism. By 2033, Ripple says we go from a little more than $500 billion in real-world tokenized assets to 19 trillion. To 2023, we're going to see a swell of over 18 trillion in tokenizing the traditional markets in the next few years. Think of this. Think of this, ladies and gentlemen. I have said a million times that the smallest part of the digital pie is cryptocurrency itself. It is the tokenization of the rest of the traditional markets that's the entire pie. And I want to be involved and invested in all of the companies that I believe have an opportunity to tokenize and gain off of that tokenization of the rest of that pie. That's where my head is. Meanwhile, Ripple XRP is the most purchased altcoin in Latin America residents by Latin America residents. So a new report shows 9% of all crypto purchases in the region in 2024 was XRP. So there you have it. Apparently the IQ is pretty high down there in Latin America. You go, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, we're fighting here with the Fed, with the current administration that is embracing cryptocurrency and duking it out with Jerome Powell at the Fed. U.S. inflation is dropping fast, down from 3.2 under Biden to 1.4 under President Trump. Rate cuts are coming, says Good Morning Crypto. Shout out to Abs and Johnny. I say when the cuts come in, Trump will refinance the U.S. debt because he has to by the end of the year. And this is why he's so upset with Jerome Powell at the Fed. Jerome Powell doesn't want to do the thing he needs to do for this administration because he doesn't like us. He doesn't like Trump. Meanwhile, this is what's waiting for all of us. Congress is moving at a breakneck pace, and in no small part because of Senator Tim Scott. Senator Tim Scott is the one that arranged for all of the subcommittees across the House and across the Senate and across the outside agencies of regulators to come together in a bicameral way so they could scope the legislation at one time instead of going from one agency and passing it to the next and taking years to get this done. He's brought all of them together in one group to be able to get all of this sussed out quickly. And this is what he says.
Under the Biden administration and the Gensler at the SEC, they just didn't like crypto. What I've said very often is simply this: we must innovate before we regulate. That means allowing innovation to happen here at home in the digital asset space is critical to American economic dominance across the globe. The good news is President Trump is leading the way to a crypto revolution, starting here at the Banking Committee, and that's why we've moved very quickly the Genius Act, focusing on the crypto world. That's how you get things done. It's passed through my committee in a bipartisan fashion. Next, market structure on its way to be heard in the committee, marked up, and I believe passed into law by August.
by August. And that is super bullish. We've never seen the government move so fast, have we? Doesn't this all make sense? He has to finance the debt by the end of the year, so he's working to get the rates cut. How did he do that? Well, he started with the tariffs. What did tariffs do? They shocked the market and trillions fled out of the equities market, forcing the Fed to face the notion that they may have to cut rates. Of course, Jerome Powell doesn't like President Trump, so he's trying not to honor that. Why else would he not want to do that? Because the Fed's going to make less money because who they refinancing the debt with. So he doesn't want to allow that to happen so they can make more money and put us in a deeper hole. That's what Jerome Powell's trying to do. Yeah. You like him now? And why is all of this happening now? Because we're going to be switching over to a new digital on-chain economy. And in order to do that, we need new value protocols, new payment rails, and then we need to tokenize everything to get it on those new payment rails and protocols. And to do that, you got to negotiate new trade deals so you don't put the bad deal in the new tokenized world. That's what this is. It's very simple. Now, it's very complicated to get it all done because each country has different circumstances to deal with, but that is what we're seeing happen right now before our eyes. And when they get it done by August, guess who's going to be ready to jump in?
The new laws that are being passed, like the market structure bill and the stablecoin bill in the United States, and where MiCA is solidifying, what's going to end up happening is the big guys, the Magnificent Seven, are going to come into crypto, and that's going to bring 3 billion users into crypto. You're going to have cryptocurrency wallet in your Android phone. You're going to have a cryptocurrency wallet in your iPhone. You're going to have a cryptocurrency wallet Windows, and they're going to be using stablecoins. It's not because Papa Satya over at Microsoft is like, boy, I love crypto. It's he hates paying fees. If you're Microsoft, you got people in 150 countries, and you hate some local bank in Bangladesh or Pakistan or someplace charges you 5% here or 10% here. You want to get rid of that whole thing. So why not pay them in stablecoins, Windows to Windows, and you're your own bank. Plus, if they're issuing that token, they could wake up just like Tether does and get $20, $30 billion a year in yield from treasury bills.
And what would that do to help out the United States to have a new use case that allows private issuance of stablecoins for the big seven and all of the biggest banks of the world, right? Think of it for a moment. As the CEO of Stripe said, it will be a better mechanism than the petrodollar to elevate the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency by allowing the private issuance of stablecoins, highly regulated. Because of the new use case, it will soak up the U.S. Treasury bonds. It will allow the dominance of the dollar to remain. Guess who else is getting on board? Charles Schwab. You heard of them? Managing over $10 trillion in assets and serving 37 million customers. And just about 12 months from now, they say they're announcing plans to launch a spot Bitcoin and crypto trading services within the next 12 months. 37 million customers are about to have access in a way that they've never had access before, directly through Charles Schwab for crypto trading services. Yeah, $10 trillion, say it one more way, $10 trillion being held by Charles Schwab for 37 million customers is about to get crypto trading services directly on the same platform that they've parked their $10 trillion. You tell me what's getting ready to happen. I love this post from Chad Steingraber. If you're not following him, I just can't figure out why. If the entire world is dependent on crypto assets, the powers that be will not depend on retail to supply those assets. They will consume them all and sell it back to retail as derivative products. Yes, 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 it's exactly right. What do you think Charles Schwab is doing? In fact, right? Chad's got it on lock here. It's exactly what you're seeing every time you see BlackRock get into crypto, every time you see another ETF filed, every time you see a Charles Schwab rise up, a Fidelity, Every time we see this, it's confirmation of the fact that, yes, they're opening these products so they can buy these assets up. And then after that, there's nothing left to do but to sell you the paper products, the derivatives on top of it. because they own it all. That's where this is going. How much are you going to have before they buy the rest of it? That's the question. XRP ETFs could remove coins from the market, creating less supply and higher prices. Analysts predicts XRP price could reach $27 if ETF approval goes through. BlackRock's potential ETF involvement could trigger massive XRP demand with its $11 trillion in assets under management, and we just saw Charles Schwab get excited about it. Well, who are they talking about? They're talking about me on Good Morning Crypto. They're talking about this little rant that I laid down, and I want you to hear it here. Shout out to Abs for putting it out and Coinpedia for grabbing it. Check it out.
One, the ETFs are going to be massive because you're talking about these are liquid. Think of these as giant vacuum cleaners that are just laid right over into the pool to suck up all the liquidity of the XRP. Every time someone buys a position in the ETF, XRP goes into a qualified custodian. It's not available anymore. Now we have a tune of 18 of those, and it is rumored that BlackRock will be soon to announce their ETF. There are 11 trillion assets under management. So
Charles Schwab just announced that 10 trillion assets under management. They're getting in the game. So that'll be 21 when they're both playing.
I'll let you do the math on that. So, you know, this demand is going to create an upward pressure on the price. Now let's go to the other side of it. We get legislation passed for everything we need by August, let's say, for the sake of this conversation. Market infrastructure bill, taxes, stablecoins, it's all done. Nothing left to talk about. The only thing left to do is implement it into your business model. That means every market maker making a market, using it for payments every day, needs it every single day. But they're watching everyone over here that sells ETFs, selling ETFs, taking off like gangbusters. So while they're using it every day, they're realizing, shit, the price of this thing's going up every day, and I need to use it every day forever, right? So now you have these two clashing with one another, creating a demand for the asset. ETFs are constantly buying it up off of the market. The guy who needs to use it every day says, I better buy as much as I need today for the next however long, because today it costs less than it will tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
There you have it. That's where we're about to go here. Because once legislation is passed, then we can start to see the big financial institutions begin to use XRP for settlement. Now, how do we know that? Yeah, who? Brad, who? Who's going to do that? Oh, I don't know. Hidden Road? They just got purchased by Ripple for $1.25 billion. Yeah, but how much are they actually going to use it? Well, according to Brad Garlinghouse, he says here they're clearing $3 trillion annually for 300 plus of the top financial institutions globally. And he goes on to say, this is the capital and activity that will tap into XRP and the XRP ledger's bread and butter, instant, efficient, scalable, and low-cost movement of value. Instead of waiting for 24 hours to settle trades through fiat rails, right? Hidden Road will be using XRP Ledger for clearing a portion of trades and most consequentially using real USD as collateral across its prime brokerage services, including cross-asset, crypto, and traditional instrument trades. I just don't know how else to say it other than this looks like a phasing in, right? Like, well, we're going to start with 3 trillion. We know that there's, quadrillion plus, 2 quadrillion plus to settle every year. Why don't we acquire Hidden Road, show the world it works at scale? We'll do 3 trillion. And then after that, it's just turn the lights on. Let's just get busy and go. I think this is exactly what we're watching here. And I couldn't be more excited, especially knowing that we have legislation headed our way as soon as August. What's stopping the rest of the world from saying, hey, we want you to settle our trillions too? The answer's nothing once legislation's here. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I want to wish all of you a happy holiday. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you have a great day with family. I certainly do. No doubt about it. I love mine. I love each and every one of you, and I'm really grateful each and every one of you tune into the channel. And I just want to say to all of you, it is not lost on me how fortunate I am that I am allowed into your daily lives. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier that we get to be on this journey together. So I hope you have a great day with family and friends, and I will catch all of you on the next one.